please stay in this posture and turn to 584 in the same hymnal you're holding in your hands for a responsive reading. This is a network of mutuality by Dr. King, so I will read the regular typeface and I'll have the congregation respond with the words that are in italics. Everybody found it? Great. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. There are some things in our social system to which all of us ought to be maladjusted. We must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. Before it is too late, we must narrow the gaping chasm between our proclamations of peace and our lowly deeds which precipitate and perpetuate war. We must pursue peaceful ends through peaceful means. You may be seated.
Hello, everybody. Beautiful rainy day, isn't it? I invite the children to come on down, if you'd gather around, please, and also the young at heart. This is the story for all ages. Good to see you. Hello, ladies. We're all gathered, excellent. And there's more coming, I love it. Okay, just to let you know, I love jazz. And all that entails, all the musical variations from scat to bebop to free jazz to improv to even the blues. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Or better, on a rainy day, I got the morning blues. Oh, so bad. Honey, come and kiss me. They're the worst I've ever had. Now, I'm not a singer nor a blues singer at all. But you get my idea of what I like about jazz. So the question for you all is, what do you know about jazz? Anybody? Jazz hands. I see that, jazz hands. Cool. What's the definition of jazz? Jazz hands. I see that they're making jazz hands. And anybody? What's the definition of jazz? More jazz hands. I'll take anybody. Shout it out. Music. Improvisation. More jazz hands. We got a jazz hand. I bet you were taking a jazz dance class, perhaps. I heard New Orleans. Charleston. Oh yeah, Charleston jazz. So you all know what jazz means to you. Let me tell you more about what jazz means to me. I lived in New Orleans for 4 years with my good friend who got me here, Susan Garrison. And apparently in New Orleans, after the Civil War, the enslaved folks felt free and they gathered in Congo Square to do rhythm and jazz, and it became a huge thing, all into around World War II when it became internationalized with African American troops. And by the 1920s, jazz was a thing. because it got that swing. Now, my experience with jazz goes back to when I was a little bit older than you guys. I have a question here, go for it. Who made jazz hands? This is the jazz hands girl. The answer is, I don't know. But my experience, older than you now, I went off to college. I went off to college in upstate New York, a wonderful small liberal arts college, Alfred University, and there I met my first true love. And my true love, his name was Terry. Now, Terry was a big hulk of a guy, literally. He was a defensive linebacker. He was my sweetheart for 4 years. I loved Terry. Terry could play music. Music was his major. I was a psychology major. And as many folks do, after about 4 years, we went our separate ways. I coulda, woulda, shoulda married him, but he was married to his music. So I went off to clinical psychology training. He went off to the public schools of Rochester, New York, and was an acclaimed music teacher. He also, for those of you who know the 70s and 80s, the band Spyro Gyra, he played for them. So Terry was all that. Now, if you can imagine, when I was shopping around in the library for a good book, came across this. It is not a storybook, but oh man, it reminds me of jazz. You see that picture? And it's not a storybook, it's a book of poems. So I'm going to just do an excerpt of a poem that really sends me, because it has a picture of a fellow playing the saxophone. That was Terry's instrument, the saxophone. So here we go. Bebop, it's called. By the way, this is Jazz by Walter Dean Myers. Bebop. Oh, bebop, 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 oh wee, oh wee! Oh, bebop, 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 don't you dig I'm free? Oh, bebop, bebop, do you dig my jive? This is jazz and I'm playing, it's keeping me alive. The sweet honey changing and the mood rearranging and the axe that I'm grinding and the melody I'm finding. Oh, bebop, bebop, oh, bippity-doo, oh, wee! So, maybe you all can go back to your families and love jazz.
We'll take a deep breath together. And turn to our book of life, the place where we share our joys and sorrows together, the place where we mark milestones. Center your hearts now to hear these entries. Our beautiful flowers today are from Joey Sherman and Beth Warner in memory of Lucy Boyle. And Joey says, "Today I remember my friend Lucy Boyle. In 2015, today was the last day I saw her at church. She passed away on March 30th, 2015, following complications from her surgery. We remember Lucy today." Jack Hurley completed his 76th cosmic spin around the sun on January 15th. Happy birthday. And Nancy Simpson says that she is so grateful that we're continuing the UU service auction tradition after 36 years. It's all online starting this week. She says, bid high, bid often. I know there's so much more on our hearts. Those of us in the room who are thinking about someone who is ill, who have received a diagnosis, folks who are concerned about what's going on in Minneapolis and in all of our cities around the world, folks who are here looking for a moment of peace. And so let us center our hearts for a few moments of quiet meditation. All of this, all of these joys and sorrows that we hold in our hearts, we lift up to the universe and hold in a spirit of love. Amen. Blessed be. Our next hymn was Dr. King's favorite, number 199, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join us.
I am tired, I am weary. I'm concerned about a better world. I'm concerned about justice. I'm concerned about brotherhood and sisterhood. I'm concerned about truth. And when one is concerned about that, he can never advocate violence. For through violence, you may murder a murderer, you can't murder. Through violence, you may murder a liar, but you can't establish truth. Through violence, you may murder a hater, but you can't murder hate through violence. Darkness cannot put out darkness. Only light can do that. And I say to you, I have also decided to stick with love, for I know that love is ultimately the only answer to humankind's problems. And I'm going to talk about it everywhere I go. I know it isn't popular to talk about it in some circles today, and I'm not talking about emotional bosh when I talk about love. I'm talking about a strong, demanding love. For I have seen too much hate, and I say to myself that hate is too great a burden to bear. I have decided to love. If you are seeking the highest good, I think you can find it through love. And the beautiful thing is that we aren't moving wrong when we do it, because John was right. God is love. He who hates does not know God, but he who loves has the key that unlocks the door to the meaning of ultimate reality.
Blackbirds sing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to rise. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird. Thank you.
What an absolute joy and treat to have Elva and Richard with us today. I've been looking forward to this service for a long time, and I know many of you have too. All week long at various church meetings and events, and even on the phone with some of you, I kept hearing folks say, I can't wait for Sunday. I don't want to miss Jazz Sunday. So I get it. They're incredible, and we're so glad you're here. There's something so powerful about jazz music, and for many of us, it's something spiritual too. For me, at least, that's when I'm listening to it, because I can't play it. I've tried, but I've always been the kind of person that likes to read the notes on the page and follow along a nice, orderly piece of sheet music. I like to engage my left brain and be in control. And that's not where jazz happens. The best jazz happens in the space of creative flow, the state of effortless creativity and freedom that leads to new discoveries, unique moments, and musical innovation, which is something that I found elusive because the more I want to enter the flow, the harder it is. My personal experience is that you can't really force it. Can you force it? The flow? You can't, it breaks. If you force it, it breaks. You can't reason it. You can't think your way into it. Scientists have concluded the same thing. In order to reach creative flow, the frontal lobe of the brain has to calm down, has to get still. Now, the frontal lobe of the brain is the part that's in charge of executive function. It's the part that likes order and neat things. It's the part that I like to have really busy in my mind. It's also the part that engages in self-criticism. And those are two things that you can't have in jazz: control or self-criticism. So when an artist is able to quiet that part of the brain and enter creative flow, scientists have done neuroimaging to show us that, yep, that part gets quiet, and other parts of the brain that are related to sensory experiences and motor skills increase. So that means that a person is leaving conscious control behind and engaging with the senses more and relying on a bank of skills that become automatic because they've been developed through practice. As jazz great Charlie Parker is said to have advised, you've got to learn your instrument, then you practice, 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 and then when you finally get up there on the bandstand, forget all of that and just wail. In other words, train intensively, become a master of your instrument, and then surrender. Let go and release yourself into a sea of creativity. Now, all this talk about creative flow got me thinking about process theology. For process theologians, creativity itself is an expression of the divine, of divine love, which they might call love energy or simply God, God's self. For them, for process theologians, creativity and love are deeply intertwined divine attributes. If John says God is love, process theologians say yes, and. Yes, God is love, and God is the creative impulse. In this model, God's power is alluring, not controlling. God uses invitation and the freshness of possibilities to perpetually lure us towards goodness, beauty, and wholeness. God never uses coercive control. Rather, God is with us, inviting us to co-create the universe. Now, human beings have a whole lot of agency in this model. Perhaps that's why we get some of it so screwed up sometimes. But the good news of the process theology model is that we are not on our own. If God is love energy and draws us towards itself, it is always extending divine nudges, what they might call in process theology an initial aim, towards the greatest, most loving, most just possible outcome. Those are always dangling in front of us at all times. The most loving, most beautiful, most just possible outcome is always there, and God is luring us towards it. In this framework, God can't stop us from doing bad things or stop our hearts from breaking, but God can experience it with us. When we are suffering, it is God's heart that is the first to break. And when it feels like everything is impossible and there's no way out or no way forward, this love energy offers fresh possibilities and the empowerment to respond creativity, to make a way out of no way, to flow. Dr. King knew this about God. He knew it about jazz, too. We talked a lot about Dr. King's love and appreciation for jazz last year and his understanding of the connection between the music and the movement, so I'm not going to repeat myself on that. But in short, Dr. King's view was that jazz was the perfect soundtrack to the civil rights movement because it wasn't just entertainment. It was a living, breathing art form that mirrored the struggles and aspirations of Black America and offered a path toward universal love and understanding. God has wrought many things out of oppression, said Dr. King. He has endowed his creatures with the capacity to create. And from this capacity has flowed the sweet songs of sorrow and joy. Through the creative process, King declared, we have the ability to take the hardest realities of life and put them into music, only to come out with some new hope or sense of triumph. So the way I see it is, even in the face of the greatest suffering, the divine, love, energy, creativity, whatever you call it, invites us to flow, to be in a state of possibility and promise. And Lord knows we need some of that today. For once again in America, we are in a state of great suffering. Once again in America, we are faced with a choice between getting comfortable with the suffering or doing something brand new. Once again in America, the choice is a little scary. Once again in America, it is as it was during Dr. King's lifetime. The crux of the matter is about racism, voting rights, and our ability to have a free and fair democracy. I know if Dr. King were alive today, he would be appalled to know that the Voting Rights Act, the landmark legislation of the civil rights movement, is under attack. You probably all know this, but things have escalated quickly since 2013 when the Shelby versus Holder Supreme Court case knocked out a cornerstone of the 1965 Voting Rights Act, known as preclearance. As the ACLU describes it, preclearance was a provision that requires certain jurisdictions with a record of racial discrimination in voting to obtain federal approval before making any changes to their voting laws or practices. Preclearance was one of the most powerful preventative tools against voter discrimination of the Voting Rights Act. It worked like a safety net, catching discriminatory voting changes before they could harm voters. But like a building with compromised structural integrity, after preclearance was eliminated in 2013, democracy in covered states immediately suffered. It opened the door, and those in power were too compelled by it to take advantage and scale back voting rights. And boy, did they ever. Ever since that time, they've been doing everything they can to try to pick their voters instead of letting the voters pick them, scaling back our voting rights. And here we are. And I'm wondering, was it an accident that shortly after this decision in 2013, we entered a period in American history of escalating discrimination, division, and inequality? Is it any wonder that just a few weeks into 2026, we are seeing these conflicts escalating into state violence? You can connect the dots. When voting rights are attacked, so are the people. So no matter who you voted for, we didn't vote for this, and I know that. The people don't want what we're seeing in the United States today, what we're seeing in Minneapolis. To some of us, it feels new and frightening. But Dr. King would remind us that state violence is not new. There's nothing happening right now that we haven't seen before in this country. It's the same stuff Dr. King saw in his lifetime: racism, attacks on voting rights, threats to democracy, state violence. In 1965, Dr. King led a march of thousands of civil rights activists from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, to demand voting rights for African Americans. And it took them 3 tries, because the first 2 were violently interrupted by Alabama state troopers. The third one was a success, and when they eventually concluded the march, in 1965, Dr. King addressed the nation. Racism, he told the people, was not a natural result of hatred between races after the Civil War, no. Because after the Civil War, poor whites and blacks had actually started to come together when they realized they were both being taken advantage of by the oligarchy. Racism, Dr. King said, was constructed, and this is not me saying that, this is Dr. King, was constructed to keep the Southern masses divided and Southern labor the cheapest in the land. Enter Jim Crow. Jim Crow interrupted unity and sowed division and racial hatred. Jim Crow happened because when the people got together in the late 19th century, the oligarchs got really scared, and they had a big reaction. Dr. King told those gathered in Selma that day that the greatest threat to the Southern oligarchy was the political and economic unity of poor black people and poor white people. If poor whites and poor blacks ever formed a coalition, he said, based on shared economic interest, it would represent the end of the Southern power structure. Of course, Dr. King moved on to start the Poor People's Campaign, as we all know. And this was true then, and it's true now. Racism has been constructed and fueled once again to divide us and to keep the oligarchs in power. Now, periodically in American history, we see through this, and we have experienced moments of interracial unity. We have made progress towards racial and economic justice, but every time it scares the people in power, and we see a backlash. That's where we are now, in a backlash. I was listening to a sermon that Reverend Dr. William Barber delivered this week, and he reminded us of this pattern of progress and backlash. He said that it feels like we are facing things we have already faced in this country, that we've already taken care of, but they're bigger and scarier now. And Barber, in his sermon, turned to the Gospel of Luke in chapter 11 to tell the parable of the strong man guarding a house. If you get rid of the strong man, if you push him out of the house, it says in the Gospel of Luke, but leave the door open, and you don't fill that house up with something else, something stronger like love and justice, the strong man will come back 7 times stronger with 7 friends and 7 times more evil. That's what's happening now. That's where we are today, says Dr. Barber, because we fought a real good fight in the civil rights movement, but somebody left the door open. And the evils are back 7 times stronger. What do we do now? Jazz. We find our flow. Because we are ready, friends. We have been practicing. We have experience. We have skills. We have the ability to embrace creativity and embrace new possibilities and to let goodness and love abound. And though they want us to be, we are not tired, we are not afraid, and we're not going back now. The oligarchs, the technocrats, the billionaires who want to hoard power and keep us divided, they don't know where the real power is with us, with the people, and it scares them, which is why they're having this huge tantrum right now, because we have the power. The people who don't have health care right now have the power. The people whose health care premiums went up so much that they can't afford them anymore have the power. The people who are losing access to gender-affirming care have the power. The people who lost their jobs this year have the power. The people without food on the table have the power. The people without a roof over their head have the power. The people who are making less than a living wage have the power. The people losing their voting rights have the power. The people whose religious values are mercy, grace, and empathy, not religious nationalism, have the power. Because when we get together, when we choose to be united in an interracial, cross-class movement, we have the power. Dr. King said in his last speech he ever gave, the night before his assassination in 1968, nothing would be more tragic than to stop now. We got to see this thing through. It's our turn to see this thing through. We have to live out Dr. King's dream and advance his vision because it is our time, and we know now that when we clear the strong man out of the house, we're going to fill it up with love and justice and joy so abundant that we will never be divided again. And as I conclude, let me just say, I know the road ahead of us is long and treacherous, but that's why we go together, right? None of us is alone. Matt Meyer taught us a song about that last week. Do you remember it? Where you go, I will go, beloved. It's what Dr. King would do if he were still alive today. He would be out there on the streets with the people, building interracial community. Where you go, I will go, beloved. We've made it this far, friends. Nothing would be more tragic than for us to turn back now, and so we won't. In the last week alone, I have received 2 nationwide calls to different marches. Organizers are claiming this is our Selma. This is our Selma. This is our moment. This is our time. One march is in Minneapolis this week, and one is in Raleigh, North Carolina on February 14th. I don't think I can pull off going to the Twin Cities on a couple of days' notice, but I do believe I can go to Raleigh in February. So if you or anyone you know is planning on going to one of these national marches, let me know. We won't let you go alone. Surely we have resources to share and connections to utilize and mutual aid to provide so that all who want to are able to go. Wherever you go, I will go, beloved. And if you can't travel or don't want to, there are so many other ways to flow in this moment, so many other ways to embrace your creative power in whatever way is authentic to you. Find your flow. Find one thing that you can do, whatever it is, no matter how small, and do it. However you resist, however you move us toward a more just and beautiful future is up to you. You just have to do it. One thing, do what you can, when you can, however you can. And where you go, I will go, beloved. Remember this song? Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Let's try it again. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. I messed that up. We're going to do it again. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. One more time. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Let's do some jazz hands.
At this time in our service, we pause to share our gifts and make an offering to advance our church's important mission, support its good works in our community, and maintain our historic sanctuary and church grounds. For those of you in the sanctuary, our ushers will circulate to collect your offerings, or you may scan the QR code in your order of service. If you're joining us from home or otherwise prefer to give electronically, you may easily donate now through the Breeze link on our church website or by scanning the QR code in your order of service or on your screen if you are live streaming. You may also mail a check to our church office. As always, we thank you for your generosity. May it be freely given and gratefully received. Thank you.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. You know every cloud contains pennies from heaven. You find your fortune falling all over town. Just be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Save it with a handful of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you, you and me. Pennies from heaven. Pennies from heaven. Pennies from heaven. Richard White. now we're gonna trade. Oh, let's do it again. You start this time. Every time it rains, it rains. Pennies from heaven, you know every cloud contains pennies from heaven. You'll find your fortune all over town. Just be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Save it with a handful of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So if you hear thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you. Pennies from heaven for you. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Count Basie. Thank you. I see those jazz hands.
At this time, I invite Susan Garrison back up to extinguish our chalice. Those of you watching virtually may also extinguish your candles at this time. I welcome the congregation to read the verse with me as printed in your order of service. We extinguish the just flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please rise as you are able and join in hymn number 169 in your gray hymnal.
We shall overcome.
As you go forward from this place, stepping into your creative power and your possibilities and embodying love and justice, I have two invitations for you. Immediately following the service right now, you can go to Gage Hall and go to the social justice booth and write a letter to your legislatures to get the hate crimes bill passed in the state of South Carolina. So everybody go over there, write a letter, let's get it done this year. And your second invitation is to join us tomorrow morning for the Martin Luther King Day Parade here in Charleston. We'll meet at 8 a.m. at Burke High School, and we're going to march with Cajun. So I hope to see you there.
CJM Blues by the prolific, I think Duke Ellington wrote almost as many as Charlie Parker compositions. So this is one of his compositions. It only has 2 notes in it. So this is called CJM Blues. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Better, 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 better. Better, 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 better. Better, 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 better. This is a tune that you can sing if you don't know the words. Just 2 notes, a C and a G. So if you want to sing along with me, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. It just goes better, 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 better. I hear you singing now. Better, 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 better. Better, 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 better. So some crafty people wrote some lyrics. Come on down to Duke's place. Swinging, swinging boxes, Duke's place. Make your way, make your way, make your way down to Duke's place. Horns blow at Duke's place. Horns blow their horns at Duke's place. Swinging, swinging box. I do ga do ga do. I do ba do ba do da 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 ba da la la da da da. Boo ba do ba da vee ba ba da da la 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 da. I do dee ga do dee ga do dee ga do dee 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 da. Do ga da. I do ga da 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 da. Ba ba you ba 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 you ba ba do ba da ba do ya da ba da ya. Beep ba ba da beep ba da do ya da. Bada 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 yada bada Richard. Swinging Tuesday, sing at Duke's place. So make your way to Duke's place. Drummers play their sticks at Duke's place. Crazy rhythms there at Duke's place. So make your way to Duke's place. Thank you. Thank you. with me. And here we go. Da-da, 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 da-da. Da-da, 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 da-da. Da-da, 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 da-da. Welcome. Thank you. Richard Wright. Thank you.
Lenny Kennedy.